I've always wanted to get a degree. I've always wanted to have that part of my education. It's something that I didn't get to do when I was a teenager, when I was younger, you know, when all my friends were going off to college. But it's always something I've wanted to do. It's something that, you know, I've always felt missing for me. And so when that opportunity came up, I jumped at it. I really, really wanted it.
I've been a business manager for the last, I'd say, 8 years now, and wanted to do more and learn more, and especially with kind of career prospects as well.
The biggest concern for me, I suppose, is probably the time commitment, the unknown. You were going into it not knowing about online learning, because I'd never heard of anybody doing it, or I had no experience. I didn't know what to expect from online learning, so that was a concern for me. The time as well, I suppose I didn't realise how much time and how challenging it would be time-wise, but you get into it, you find the time, you make the time, you suddenly prioritise, you become a lot more productive with the time that you do have.
Balancing work, life, family, it is difficult. But once you have it in your system, it is just a matter of, you know, focusing on each area and then get on and do it. You know, your self-motivation is a big thing. You know, you have to have that. And if you have that, your commitment and self-motivation together, I think achieving this is simple.
You know, you're working all day and then you're coming home and you've collected him from the childminder and you're into college at 6:30 in the evening and you're there till 10:30, and I suppose just trying, that was kind of going to be the main concern, and how I was going to balance the whole lot. But it was a struggle at the start. But you kind of get into a routine then.
When I got into it, you know, it was difficult and it was tough, and then the fears came in, and then, you know, I worried, am I going to be smart enough? You know, am I going to look stupid? If I say this, is it going to sound, you know, like uneducated? You know, I don't have a leaving cert, I don't have an education, so am I going to sound uneducated? Am I going to be the stupid person in the class? And very quickly I realised that everybody has a viewpoint that's just as valid as any other viewpoint. Everybody has an opinion and everybody has some experience and some knowledge that they can bring to the class.
Getting to meet the team on the first day was brilliant, getting to meet your classmates, and a lot of McDonald's people in it, and very like-minded people, so as a team we just gelled, as a class we just clicked from day one.
We'd send emails, there'd be texts, there was the chat rooms in the classes, phone calls, there was loads of communication between all of us.
A lot of lectures would be helpful towards McDonald's, in a sense that they were able to adapt what we were learning and relate it to McDonald's.
The online classes, if you were in work, you literally just had to make sure you were home a few minutes before to turn on your laptop. If you wanted to get something to eat, you could put it on while you were waiting and step away then. So the online class was much better, because you're not wasting time running between places. You're literally going home anyway and logging in when you get home.
You know, you have to have a high level of self-motivation to sit yourself down in front of that computer for 3.5 hours every night. You know, that time you have to sit there, you have to stay with it, you have to push yourself. There's nobody to do it for you. You don't have to turn up in a class. Nobody's going to really notice if you're not there, you know, so you have to want to do it yourself. So you have to be able to force yourself, you push yourself and make yourself committed. But the positives are, you get to go home after your day's work, you get to do other things, you get to have your dinner, you can eat, you can interact with your family while you need to, you can take breaks when you need to, you can keep up with your life while you do those things, you know, and you don't have the travel time, you don't have the, you know, I have to rush here, I have to rush there, you get to relax.
It just frees up a lot of your time, that you're not commuting or not rushing to be in a classroom. When it's over, you can just switch off the computer and that's your evening done. You're not jumping in a car, you're not stuck in traffic. It's so much easier. You do have to be self-motivated, you do have to be strict with your time, and you do have to commit to it. But if you're able to do that, then it's a way easier approach.
I've had a number of people go through the degree, and one of my managers just finished the degree course. And once they got through the sort of the challenges, can I do it, can I not do it? It then bolstered their individual confidence in decision making, and that's where it benefited me, because they were making decisions not just based on the McDonald's model, but more of a global business model.
I've been in McDonald's maybe 15 years when this course came up, so it was kind of a great way to have some sort of outside recognition and accreditation for working in McDonald's as management.
I found the integration was good, because I found with the majority of subjects we did, you could relate it back to what you were doing at work.
Within McDonald's we have our own training system, we have a lot of our own training courses, but this NCI course complements that and gives you a background, a stronger background. You understand what you've learned, but now you understand why you've learned it. So it gives you a better basis and a stronger foundation for doing your job from.
At McDonald's, you're kind of very focused on what you do in there and you forget that there's a bigger world out there. And it was good to see the reason why we do a lot of stuff that we do. I suppose the why behind it as well.
It gave me confidence so that when there was something I said, okay, you know, that's a different way of thinking, let's go with that, as opposed to always being my tunnel vision the way I'm thinking, being able to expose that to outside influences.
I met a great group of people. Like, I mean, the class that I was with, they're fantastic. They're my friends. You know, like I've kept in contact with them since I finished. Like, it was a great group. We really worked well together. We really enjoyed each other, and I'm so glad that I met those guys. And my personal sense of achievement, something that I always wanted to do, was to get a degree. I wanted to be able to sit with my friends and talk to them about the experiences that they had, and to be able to have those same experiences myself. And now I have that. And I have an 11-year-old son, and I get to say to him, I have a degree, I've been to college. You know, it's something that I so want for him, and I can now say I have it too. There's no reason why you can't do it.
So many different modules which you just can bring into work, you can bring into the restaurant, and it just gives you more confidence, and you suddenly, you know, if you don't know or you haven't learned it, you certainly now know where to look it up or where to find the information. So that gives you a whole new opening of, well, there's nothing that can faze me at work almost, that if it does, I know where I can go find the information that will help me through it.
And what I particularly am very proud with, by linking in with the NCI, it gives people an avenue to continue their studies. And it gives you pride when you see them developing as an individual. You see them maturing academically, not just as a person, but academically. You see them maturing in their decision making, that they're not nervous about the decision. So it just fills you with, you know, an ability and a pride that you can step away from them and just leave them on a little bit. Because for me to grow in business, I have to have strong people that are working for me. And that gives the stepping stone. It allows me to step on to the next level when I have someone that can fill those shoes from the decision-making process. So we're very, very proud of anyone that takes on this course.
Generally 30% of our staff is part-timers, and most of them are from college. And as managers, as leaders, you need to be in front of them. And it is important that you don't talk to them always about work. It's about their personal life as well. Once you have the experience in the college, I had the self-confidence to talk about it to them. And we had a very good relationship after that, because the way I talk, they understood. And you know, their feeling I understood as well. When it's come to time off, their studies and time off their college projects, I understood exactly what they need, and it was easy for us to communicate. That's an achievement.
For me personally, the course has benefited me in many different ways. From the people and the friends I've made from the course, it's widened the network within McDonald's around Ireland. You know, it's great to meet other people from other restaurants with similar stories, and you know, so from that point of view, it's been brilliant. It's been great just to be able to have it from an outside point of view, that people don't just see me working at McDonald's. It's like, well, you've got a degree out of it, so it's going well. You know, just as well, what you learn, you can bring into work. It helps you out in work. It makes your job easier, that you're able to have more information and more experience within the job.
When you start a course like this, you're enthusiastic, and you know, you have there is a curve. You need to get to that point where you can see the end. So if you push yourself up to the top of that curve, it'll take you to the end, because once you can see the end, once you can see the achievement, once you can see the final, the degree in your hand, it's self-fulfilling. You will stay motivated, but you need to push yourself at the start to get to that point where you're halfway through, where you're over the hill. Well, it's true. If you've done a Saturday night, you know, 2 days before Christmas in a store, then there's nothing that sitting in front of a computer or having to do an exam or, you know, a deadline can throw at you that you can't say, you know, I could do this. Well, I went and had a baby in the middle of it, so you know, I carried on with my life. Life happens. You can't stop everything you do just because you know you want to go and get a degree or an exam, you know, is due, or an assignment needs to be done. You have to keep living your life. I have kids, I have a husband, I have a house, I have a job, you know, I have everything else that needs to be done. You know, like, I had to keep going, and it's just, you know, life happens. you can't stop. You have to just do it. And now that I'm through it, it was worth it. But was it difficult at the time? Yes, but I did it anyway, because at the end of the day, I was committed to finishing what I'd started, and I really, really wanted that degree.
When you get that you're sitting on the fence and, will I take on education? Take the challenge. We're going to be setting up focus groups. We're going to be having plenty of mentoring that's going to go on. Tease it out, ask the questions, and if you are sitting on the fence, jump on the side of education.
If you get the opportunity, go for it. It's challenging, it's hard, but it's also rewarding. You have something at the end of it. It's not just going into work every day and doing your job. It gives you so much more pride, belief and loyalty in your job. So it's definitely worth doing if you get a chance and you're given the opportunity to take it.
I would say definitely do it. That it's a well worthwhile course. Yes, it can be challenging at times, but the rewards are brilliant from that. You get so much from it, like you're even just your self-confidence and just knowledge and everything's well worth it. I definitely recommend it.
Don't talk yourself out of it, because there's a million reasons why you could talk yourself out of it, but what you'll get out of it is so much more than the reasons why you can think of not to do it.